All right, guys, I just got a red alert here that the next couple of days are expected to be hellacious for the United States. These are alerts coming from the FBI, the CIA, through their open source intelligence channels. People who are working together with these organizations say that they expect complete chaos around the entire election process. They said they don't know if it's going to happen the day of, the next couple of days, maybe in a week even, or maybe all the way through January, but basically, every level of government that handles law enforcement and military crackdowns is going to be looking out for what happens inside the USA. There are reports that a lot of people at higher ranking levels are already considering their bug out locations. This includes the private sector, people like Jeff Bezos, people like the artists out there who are openly and publicly supporting presidential candidates. They are getting to safe and secure locations because everybody who's telling them what's up says that things are about to get very dangerous across the country. So if we boil that down to what matters for you and matters for me, maybe it's time to get to the store, top off any preps that you have, maybe get some extra batteries, definitely a way to filter water, and get some canned food and some staple goods. When you look at the United Nations, when they do work for countries like Africa or continents like Africa and countries within there, Somalia, anywhere, they give flour or a flour-like substance, rice, oil, and some sort of protein, vegetables. Make sure you can follow those up with some spices inside your own home. Now, the U.S. military is said to be on high alert because they expect China, maybe Russia, to take advantage of these dangerous times. So if we do see some sort of catalyst kickoff, that black swan that they're warning everyone about, maybe it sets up some sort of riots inside the country. Maybe the Democrats decide that they're not going to take an election loss. Maybe it's the Republicans. Who knows? There are definitely people pulling the strings behind the scenes here. But Russia and China, maybe through Iran, North Korea, maybe Tren de Aragua. Who really knows, guys? Somebody is going to take advantage of it. Now, the U.S. Air Force recently reactivated another B-1B Lancer, nicknamed Rage, from the Boneyard in Arizona. This aircraft was initially retired and preserved in Type 2000 storage, brought back to replace the damaged B-1B. These bombers were pulled from storage after Lancers suffered engine failures. Now, I don't know about you, but I think it's very weird that Boeing started having satellites have problems. They started having all their space capabilities have problems, and all of their planes on Earth have problems at the same time. Now, there's a thing called planned obsolescence. Obsolescence meaning obsolete or no longer working. Planned meaning they know about it in advance. At our understanding, yours and mine, we only believe that planned obsolescence can come for things like your car. It's not meant to last 30, 40 years. Your cell phone's meant to die after a year or two, so you have to buy a new one. Maybe something else. They know that it's not supposed to last past a certain amount of time. And in fact, if you do happen to have a car that will get 1 million miles when it's only supposed to get 200,000, if you do happen to have a washer machine that'll run for 20 years, they seek those out, they buy them back, and they make sure that that can never happen again. Now, maybe it goes further than that, and maybe planned obsolescence is something that can be targeted, and that's how Boeing is getting kicked all over and again. The United States Air Force their fleet of Rockwell B-1 Lancer bombers has been retired from service. There are fewer than 50 in the Cold War long-range strategic bomber service, down from its original 100. In 2021 alone, they saw 17 retirees. Now, why? That's the question you need to be asking yourself right now. Why are they bringing them back? We also need to be asking ourselves, why are countrymen in China being called back into service for the military? Why are countries like Sweden telling their people to get months worth of food? Why have new fallout shelters been built across Europe? Why is Russia telling their citizens that they're going to go to war with with NATO? Why, in fact, are all of these things happening? Now, that tells me that something bigger is afoot. And that tells me that maybe, just maybe, We are on the precipice. You see, this isn't Fox News here, folks. I dropped the script and I had to use my monkey toes to pick it up. So maybe something is afoot, but maybe we're on the precipice of something much bigger happening. TGI Fridays, they're seeking financing on the casual dining chain, preparing for total bankruptcy. Russia has banned fruit and vegetables from Kazakhstan because they won't join the BRICS. Now you see a little leverage taking place here. Russia and China are going to be the new big dogs on the block. China's getting their troops ready for war. They have ordered all of the military to prepare. During a recent visit to the Rocket Force, the elite unit that oversees China's nuclear and their conventional missile programs, they said that the entire country is at a point now to enhance strategic deterrent and ensure combat readiness. Now I want to remind you, it was just a couple of short years ago, which is really like seconds in the grand scheme of things for a country like China. They said they would never strike out past their borders. And now China's saying if you screw with Russia enough, China will bring the nukes with Russia down on you. China's saying that if you screw with Taiwan, they will take your entire country out. China's getting their nukes ready, their bioweapons programs. Guys, our country can only produce 12 certain missiles per year. China has AI-driven warehouses doing nothing but producing ammunition, weapons, and missiles all day, 24 hours a day, every day of the week. They've got their children learning how to break down, repair, grease, get ready, AK-47s inside school. And our country is worried about where they should go to the bathroom and what bathrooms should have tampons in them. China's getting ready to completely demolish the USA. Russia has the what do they call them? The eggs, right? The huevos, whatever they want to call them, to go to war with all of NATO and to say that they don't need to remind the USA that they have the most nuclear weapons in the world and mutually assured destruction will happen. Now, this is to say that China doesn't already have a bioweapons program that's completely DNA programmed. We know because we, the Americans, were trying to do this. We were trying to program certain types of viruses so that they could only affect certain ethnicities, certain genetic backgrounds. And then the ones that maybe had some crossover because your parents grew up in a certain area, well, don't worry. The giant agrochemical pharmaceutical industry just happens to have a vaccine. Oh, it lost me there. Just happens to have a vaccine that may or may not completely demolish your body in the process of protecting you. So there's definitely something to be concerned about here. Let's move forward. Springfield, Ohio, a whistleblower there says that all of the criminal elements that are coming to this country from other nations are paying for their items with American-funded, taxpayer-backed, Bank of America-driven debit cards. All the cards are Bank of America-issued cards, they say. Walmart also started to have to check IDs for their delivery service called Spark because illegal criminal elements were sharing accounts, bypassing security checks that drivers would have to go to. They say that this is happening across our entire country. Now, maybe we are just desensitized. Maybe we know that this entire world is bat crazy, but North Korea is invading Europe, okay? They're in Russia fighting your countrymen that have gone over there willingly to fight against Russia for what is the largest tank war, the largest trench war that we have ever seen. So the question I have to ask you is, knowing that back in World War I, back in World War II, back in, all of these times of our past where we have gone to war over things, why aren't we there now? It's because the time wasn't ready, but we are so close. All the countries are moving their assets. You got to remember, chess is a gentleman's game because it really does take a gentleman's level of hierarchy. And that isn't to say women don't play it. Don't come after me, YouTube, okay? We know where the tampons belong. But that is to say that it takes a high level of intelligence to put your pieces where they should be and to make sure that you win the game in the long run. These countries are great at it, and they're moving their assets and moving their pieces all around. So what we're actually witnessing right now is one of the biggest buildups to what will be a life-decimating war on this planet. So the only thing that I can ask you and your family to do is to remain aware, remain at peace to the most that you can, because guys, your peace means a lot, and remain prepared. Get what you can, do what you can, build your skills, become an asset to whoever you might come across. Build your group now. These other people have them already. They have the money to pay for groups. You don't. I don't. So what we have to do is build the groups that will last. So guys, thank you for keeping aware of what's happening. Make sure that you just watch what's going on, especially the next couple of days, maybe the next week, and into the entire election process. Other countries might choose your city to take advantage of it. From my family to yours, please stay safe and keep watch.